What is up, everyone? This will be my Rek'sai jungle video, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know on how to play the new Rek'sai. So the Rek'sai changes landed a bit soft, I would say. I don't think she's OP, but I think she's really strong, especially higher ranks. I'm going to show you guys a couple builds. I'll talk about it that are good for lower rank and higher rank one. For example, this build I'm going to be going this game is going to be better for higher rank. Or people who want to play more aggressively, it's going to be Ghostblade into Stridebreaker into Spear of Sojin. That's a really strong early game power build that I've been liking to build a lot. Second, you'll have the other build that's overall better for, more standard games. Stridebreaker into Spear of Sojin into like Sterix. You really want to have Spear of Sojin. It's just the better cleaver, so you're going to have that pretty much every time. For pathing, start red or blue buff, generally red buff if you want to play for an early play. You're going to start your Q, and you want to have Conquer in this rune setup. This page setup, you pretty much run it every game. For bans, I recommend banning Nocturne. Nocturne is just really annoying for Rek'sai, even more now with just how the champion is. So here, make sure you have your Q ready to go with an auto attack reset. So every time I attack, I wait a bit and then boom, Q right after. It's important because it's going to be a lot of stuff going into the combo part of the champion that I'm going to go over later on is Rek'sai combos. And as you can see, I'm generating this thing underneath me called Fury. Fury is her resource thing that it just gives her more regen when she burrows. And also it gives her E true damage when it's red, right? So if it's red, your E is empowered pretty much and it does true damage. And that's a big change for her is her E is back to true damage, which is, really good in my opinion. But it also feels like its numbers might be a bit lower than it should be. But overall, I will say she's in a much better spot than before just because her clear early game is much faster, right? Her E is a 6-second cooldown compared to before it was a 10-second cooldown. So after 3 camps, you can always look for like an aggressive play. Rek'sai, with her true damage on her E, can still, apply really good deadly level 3 ganks. So you want to make sure your Q's up. What you want to do is just kind of go for the Q flash combo here. And you can get that damage off. I die, but honestly, it's not that bad as long as you get that kill. And that's kind of like the combo, and you Q, flash, knock up, auto attack Q, and then your red bar, you press E. That's your kind of like your nuke combo that you are going to be doing. I don't hate dying there just because I'm going to have a reset and I can just go topside here. Once this guy was able to steal my blue, but it looks like he just did not take that. And yeah, that's just an important thing about how you want to combo people. Back in the day, that probably would have one-shot her, but now after durability patch, that's going to leave her with a bit more HP, but those are sort of your gank angles. You want to flash on them with a knockup. Pretty much your W, you can cast it by either, right clicking, or you can cast it by pressing W. Usually you want to just right click on people, and that's going to be your go-to for getting that ability going. And I like to just play around mid. I really, in my opinion, for solo queue, it's really important you have like a strong mid laner. Like Mel, for example, will be really good because she can follow up on my damage and she can kind of engage as well to set me up. You really are a 2v2 champion. If you play Rek'sai, you're going to want to think about that a lot. Her power comes in her 2v2s. Her 1v1s will be much stronger later on, but initially it can feel a bit weak for her 1v1s. That fail kill is really good for me. Jaco, he didn't get that kill off. What I'm going to do is just kind of like watch to see like what his game plan is. I just want to make sure Volibear doesn't, dive here. So here, if I'm just burrowed, it pretty much just tells me if Shaco's going to, pop out or something like that. So here, I'm just going to see if he goes for a dive. If not, I'm just going to back up. And from here, I'm going to base and just play for my next play, which is to go bot side here. Here we can see the Volibear walking up for vision. And the Ghostblade build, it's really just about giving you that active item. Its item is just so broken for early game. It just gives you the extra movement speed. Personally, for me, Rek'sai feels like she lacks the ability to get on people. Besides your tunnel, you're going to find yourself much slower than you want to be. And plus, you have to get into this W range to pretty much do anything. So Ghostblade, it will give you that, but it will make you a bit squishier. So into like really tanky comps, I recommend just going straight Stridebreaker. But if you want more, power early game, you can have this, Ghostblade build, which is better if you know how to use it, right? Generally, I think if you want the highest percentage chance to win on Rek'sai, you just go Stridebreaker into Spear Sojin, into Sterix, because Sterix third item, in my opinion. If you plan on team fighting, you need to have Sterix by third item. And then you go into like, Death Stance for armor, Spear Visage for MR. You can also go into Overlord's Bloodmail for, more damage through your HP. So here the crab is still up. I know Shaco's in this area. Whether he's on, bot side crab or he's on bot side gank, Just want to be a bit cautious and aware. I know the mid has no sums, so I do know that. So I want to be aware of that. I do have time to before I can go top side. So what I want to see if they will actually... And we have a rel, so we should technically have, you know, priority to actually go for a play here. With Volibear proxying, I just want to ward to see exactly the situation. His camps are gone. So most likely I'm just going to take a dragon play here. And dragon here is not bad. Rek'sai isn't going to struggle a lot doing, you know, objectives. I have relatively good vision. Shaco could not finish his topside jungle and run to me bot. Because I kind of stayed in the area, it didn't really show like a Shaco was here. Realistically, it's just unlikely. It's more likely he's just stealing my jungle here. But because there is no mid play, the enemy mid laner is really safe. Because there's no bot gank, because of the rel really wasn't looking to go in. I just have no choice but kind of to take, which is the dragon objective, which is good. This is like a really good play for us, right? You know, sometimes slow games can be really good for your game plan. Here, I'm going to start the blue. There's a chance Shaco will be here. Because we do not have smite, we will have to give it up if he shows up. But we're still going to stay on it just because there's also a high chance he's not here yet. Because if he wants to steal my jungle camps, then he's going to be there for a long time. And from here, we just want to finish the blue buff and then go look to do the other camp. So here, I'm able to kind of steal that away, which is really nicely. If I got dragon solo experience, I would have been 6, but if you split experience with your laners, you're going to have a bit less than, you know, level 6. But here I'm okay with just going back and farming right now. And Mel, like, I really just emphasize mid matchup is really important. If I have like a control mage, like a Mel, Alessandra, Syndra, LeBlanc, you know, a Zoe, a Vex, like there's a lot of good mid lane champions that if you have them on your team with Rek'sai, if you two play together, you should be unstoppable into early mid game, right? So that's the emphasis on why I really like to, you know, accelerate people like the mid lane, even though that obviously I died in that play, right? Like I died. It looked a bit unfortunate, but I didn't really miss out on anything. And sometimes you have to kind of take like that little sacrifice if you want to make plays happen. Here, I'm going to clear out the vision, just make sure she has no ward there. Here, if she walks up, we can go for a play. I really don't like forcing plays because Crab's up here, but I will just go for, you know, the Crab first. I know Void Grubs is up, so I think there's a chance that, you know, Shaco might be on it. I think we can just go and just cross through mid priority, and I think we can just take control of this area. We should take all objectives. When you're stronger, you take objectives. It's just really that simple. Riven didn't really check, did she? She checked, but she's getting ganked. And you can see when you mark someone as Rek'sai, what you're going to notice is actually... I'm going to drop a ward here. It puts like a little icon when your ulti is ready. If you have an ultimate, it passively marks people, so you can see that little icon on Shaco. That tells me that's the real Shaco, right? So a good thing with Rek'sai is if you ever go on Shaco, it's going to kind of tell you who is the real Shaco, so it makes it really easy to kind of go on targets. This game isn't like super crazy aggressive, but sometimes it's going to feel really slow for you, even if you're building high damage. But that's okay. As long as you're securing objectives and you're controlling, you know, the lane that's really sort of winning, then you're in a good spot, right? And here I'm pretty close to Ghostblade, so I can either... I mean, you have to just farm one camp, right? If you're close to your camp, if I have jungle on this 3 camps, and I'm like 200 to 300 gold away, then I'm going to do the 3 camps, right? Because I really want this one buy so I can sit on it for a very long time. Because I don't really want to keep basing because I'm going to be really aggressive. So what I want to do is just do the 1 camp and then look to reset here. And you want to not spend too much time in just like under farming is how I say it, because you have such a weak buy, you're farming slower, right? So you want to make sure you base on a very timely manner, because once you have this base timer, you're going to open up the map for you to really be active, right? So this Ghostblade buy, I mean, this is the bread and butter of it. It enables you to have such a strong early game. Also, I kind of forgot what we're going to be maxing. We're going to be maxing Q 3 points, then we're going to max E. I kind of forgot this game. But you want to do 3 points into Q, and then you want to be E maxing just to give you the most burst damage you can possibly have. You can honestly Q max then E after, which is fine, but I have found good success with, you know, E maxing after 3 points into Q. So that's what we're going to be doing. 3 points Q, E max, most damage possible. Your E true damage is pretty much your bread and absolute butter. It's going to give you the burst damage that you really need, and it's going to give you consistent DPS that you're going to notice is going to be really important. Here, I think we should just go on this art, for example. Once you kind of get these summoners, you can flash over. They were actually messed up, you can see. I messed up because my Fury wasn't full, right? So that's a mistake you don't really want to run into too often, is pressing E when your Fury is not at 100, which is going to be red. So I pressed it when it wasn't red, and you can see my damage was much lower than I wanted. And you can see what I did is I pretty much just tunnel and then activate Ghostblade right away, and it pretty much enables you to get onto any target in this early to mid game. So if you want a really fast moving speed build, this is going to give you that. Some people struggle with the extra damage because it makes you really squishy. So for lower ranks, I recommend you just rush Stridebreaker, because that item is going to be our second most important item to have. In this build, I still just go Stridebreaker second. And it's just really, really OP. It's all about the movement speed, and the Stridebreaker active is just, in my opinion, absolutely necessary on Rek'sai. I just don't see how you can play Rek'sai without it. And that's something you're going to, struggle a lot with if you don't have it ready to go. I do think we should have got that dragon. Mistakes were made slightly there, which happens, right? Personally, I think we just go behind Janna here. Shaco does not have ulti, so we can actually play around that. What I'm looking for is our rotation here. Damn, once you burrow, you can actually just heal up again right away. I wasn't able to get that off in time, but it's okay. And the Ghostblade Shaco also very strong, so you have to watch out for that. So he's going 80. So enemy comp, if we look at it, it's pretty AD heavy, but they have a lot of CC. So Merc Treads or Armor Boots is going to be your go-to. Hard to say. I'll probably have to feel for it. But generally, you can just sit on no boots and just wait till you have your Stridebreaker. Then you can upgrade to whatever boots you like. Generally, if you're going to get CC'd to death, you might as well just get your Merc Treads, because Armor Boots, even though they're really nice to have, aren't going to necessarily help you that much if you're just not doing anything anyways. So I might end up going Merc Treads anyways, but here we just want to make sure we get to our Stridebreaker. The Tiamat just helps you clear faster, right? Right now, your single target damage is much better than it was, back in the day. So now you have a lot more single target damage, but your AoE damage might slightly be lacking. So the Tiamat's going to help with, really being a fast farmer, because it is essential in this meta if you want to be kind of relevant. You kind of want to have, a fast farm. You want to be very quick clear. You want to be super fast. You don't really want to find yourself kind of giving up too many camps to do whatever plays, right? Like, you want to play for your farm here. In this situation, you can see me. I'm always like giving, I'm playing quite heavily towards my farm when it's like a slow game. And when there's a gank opportunity, I will strike, but I want to make sure I get whatever jungle camps I can. Because if you skip a jungle camp and you have to go back, it's going to really hurt your clear. And you just don't really want to be like in those situations too often. You want to make sure your clear is really fast. You want to make sure your clear is really efficient. You also want to make sure when you have time, you can play really aggressively. For example, this Volibear walking up here is Protobell. Interesting. Just waiting for the knock-up timer, and then once it's up, I just use my knock-up, right? So your W, there's like a little indicator around them that's going to show pretty much that, the knock-up effect of it. Ribbon could come. So no flash. We're just going to go on this Porky. I'm going to ult you early. Then I'm going to go in here. And we're able to kind of get those kills. Chasing more is going to be tricky, but I will check his jungle camps, Mr. Shaco. You little disgusting champion. And there, our scoreline is actually absolutely beautiful. You love to see that. And it all comes from being, you know, really smart and conservative around when it's good for you to go in. You're really going to be cleaning up people really well with this build. And I'm going to have my Stride Breaker, and then I'm going to have my Spear Sojourn. And you have a few ways to play Rek'sai. You can be as we go into this mid game, you are probably going to want to be frontline. You're going to be engaging, right? So realistically, you mostly just have to get tankier, right? You want to just stack HP. So what I like to do is either, you know, we can go Sterix. We really need to get Sterix right away. Or we can just go Spear Sojourn for more damage. You're going to be very squishy with the Ghostblade build until you get like your Spear Sojourn plus your Sterix. So just understand that if you want to be more tanky, just go Stride Breaker, Spear Sojourn, Sterix. That's absolute, you know, a beautiful build. You cannot go wrong with that build. Ari probably contesting here, which is fine. I can easily kind of run her down. No ulti, beautiful. I mean, my ulti wasn't up, right? That's something you're going to notice with the Rek'sai. They nerfed her ulti cooldown. I don't know why, because I think for win rate would go up a lot if they just revert the ulti cooldown nerf. Used to be 100 seconds, now it's like 120, whatever reason. But yeah, they nerfed that, so you have to watch out for that. And here, I mean, Ari ulting is really good, but it's going to steal the Grump. So Stride Breaker active, you pretty much just want to use it right before you're about to get onto them. And if you're already on them, just use it for extra damage or slow effect. It's really good comboing with your ulti, because now when you ultimate, your W is going to be on a 0.5 second cooldown. So you can ulti people, Stride Breaker, slow them, and then just knock them up right away. So it's a really nice combo. So I really emphasize Stride Breaker is just the best item for her. Just practice it as much as possible if you want to get better with her. Trust me on it, it's just really important. And here you just want to finish the dragon, E, and then have your E max out. My E damage is going to be really high because, you know, all the stuff we have. Q, the reason we go the red jungle item is actually because of, you know, this Q slow is actually going to apply the red jungle pet, which is really nice. Here, beautiful for us. You can actually mark one person. So the true damage you can see here. Wow, this guy's very much tanky. What the hell? I can just ulti to kill him here. You can see after ulting, my W is just pretty much back up to go, which is really nice to have. There, I don't E when it's true damage time. You're going to find yourself letting people live. It's easy to want to E before, but if you really want to maximize your damage on Rek'sai, when it's red, they're dead. Just remember that. Number one rule, if it's red, they're dead. If it's yellow, let it mellow. And you're going to find a lot of success when you play her. Here, I think Shaco is going to run in here really quickly. Probably invis in, but his ulti is down. So I might be able to catch him here when he comes in for his red jungle. If he's not here, he might be going for mid play. Or he went for top. But I should be able to... So what I do is Ghostblade, start with the Q, knock up, auto attack E, Stride Breaker to multiple slow. You can see the movement speed effect of it, right? Very, very nice. The movement speed is super important. The way I look at it, it adds a layer of extra utility on your champion that you already have a lot of. Plus, it sets you up for much better knockups and CC. So I recommend heavily, like even more than going like Spear Sojourn earlier. It's just essential to have Stride Breaker. And with the Ghostblade, it just makes it really easy for you to get onto targets. But again, with this build, what you're going to notice is you're very squishy. So if you're not ulting correctly, if you're not utilizing your ultimate, you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. So here, you always want to hit the Q first because it will apply the red jungle pet slow. From here, you can flash combo, auto attack Q, E, Stride Breaker. And here, if Shaco is invis, you can actually reveal where he is. Because he's not in this area, he's more likely went left. What I think is Shaco is in this area. He's either on Crab or he's trying to reset somewhere here. But it really doesn't matter because we're going to base anyways. And you can see the comboing with your ultimate is going to do a lot of damage. I'll probably just base now. You could farm up a bit, get your Spear Sojourn, but it better is to just base. So here's the evaluation. I think I'm not really scared of their AD because pretty much Volibear is like AP. I am worried about their CC, so I'm going to build that. Here you want to go into, you know, more damage, Spear Sojin. But I will say though, in my opinion, it's fine to just go Sterix. If you're like, I just really need more tenacity and just survivability in team fights. If I'm dying in team fights, just get the Sterix. But I think if you play well enough, you should be okay with Spear Sojin. It's better to just get your Spear Sojin and then layer it with this Sterix because, in my opinion, you're just going to have more HP and damage, and you want to be more of a threat in fights. Even though if you can just be ignored, it's never going to be fun for you. So here, Corki is there. Ari's here. I can't really go in, unfortunately. Get on her, auto attack E, and you don't have to ulti early, right? Because if you have them, if you're on top of them, they're getting low, maybe they can flash out, but if they flash out, you just ulti right after, right? So it's not necessary for you to waste your ulti in those situations. Plus, if you have vision on them by autoing them, or if you mark them with your passive, you will have, you know, vision even if they get out of like, you know, W range, right? So you don't have to worry all that much, in my opinion. Here, Otacon's up. We probably should do the Otacon, but I just want to make sure it's safe in this area before I go for that. Also, this Corki is really walking up crazy. So here, E, use the tunnel. Auto attack, QE, ulti, just because I don't want to tank too many tower shots here. And then you're burrowed and you're ready to go again. So very quick combos. Your whole purpose, if you want to play a really good Rek'sai game, what you're doing, what you see I'm doing, is what you want to do, right? You're sort of little rat, little Vigar, dirty little Vigar. What you see is what you want to be doing is going to pick people in the side lane. You're going to have the most success on her when you're going for, you know, like the Corki trying to catch bot waves on the side. The less numbers, the better for you. As long as you're strong enough to, like, you know, gank like the Volibear. Okay, Volibear is really strong. I need Ribbon. So once Volibear goes to try to lane in top lane, I'm going to try to gank him on the side wave, right? And that's going to give you the most success. And that's where you're going to see the most wins on Rek'sai, is when you're kind of avoiding the team fight if it's really annoying for you. And just look for the side lane picks. Look for picks here, look for picks here, control mid wave. Hey, maybe sometimes you can even go on the mid wave, right? But don't get baited into like bad team fights on Rek'sai, because you have the option of just killing people in the side lane. You also have the option of just becoming a split pusher. You are a really good split pusher, and your 1v1 with Spear Sojin is insanely strong. So there aren't many champions you're going to lose 1v1 to when you have your Spear Sojin ready to go. So don't be shy from that, right? Play towards your strength. Do not get baited into your weaknesses. That's probably going to be how you lose. So why is Spear Sojin super good? Well, what you're going to notice is Masters, baby. I love Masters in NA. What you're going to notice is Spear Sojin amplifies your ability damage. So it's going to amplify all your damage with your ability. So when you stack it by doing your combo, however you want to do it, Q, W, auto, Q, Q, E, it's going to bring up your true damage a lot. So very strong, very nice to have. Just recommend you go for that. You're going to have a good time with it. I'm honestly shocked Vigar's 0-3-0. He has not contributed a single thing this game. That's so impressively bad. It's crazy to me. We don't really have any need to keep chasing. That damage is enough for us to kind of just get away with it. I can see Volibear up here most likely, or Shaco. And I don't want to get baited by overly going aggressive here. I want to make sure we play towards, you know, picks. Same window, same thing. Shaco might be here, so what we want to do is look for him. Volibear is going to be a problem inside. Something you're going to realize, something you're going to run into, I personally see it every time, is split pushers just perma pushing side lane, right? It's going to happen a lot. My recommendation is, it really is, if he's still pushing bot, just go kill him. Just go kill the split pusher. It's going to save you a lot of, you know, frustration. I always kill this. Rule number 1, kill the split pusher. If you're the one in, if you're the team ahead, it's literally there. It's really hard for the enemy team to just like rush Baron in that situation. So you just have the liberty of doing that. In this situation, I don't see him. We just force on mid, right? So no split pusher. We just go fight. We got vision out. We clear out vision, right? We want to clear out whatever vision. I actually think Volibear is going to be up here. No, he's blocked that. Someone else is there, but the Shaco is going to be here. Kill Shaco. What does killing Shaco do? Well, it actually reveals. The good thing with Rek'sai is you're going to reveal him no matter where he goes. Now I have ulti on him, so you can see the mark of it. You can see that's the real one, right? Why is that one the real one? Because my mark was still on him after he ultied. So that's really cool. It's going to be the thing you're going to notice a lot with. And that's going to help you with the Shaco matchup a lot. So just remember, your mark is always going to be on it after the ulties. So just start attacking the one that's clearly still marked. And without their jungler, it's going to be really easy to secure objectives, right? So good thing about this change is now your E is true damage. So it's consistently going to do that much. So my smite, it does 1200. My E does 400. My smite combo will do 1600. So to be safe, we're just going to do it at 1500. So when you see the HP bar go to 1500, we're going to do E and smite together. So we're getting close here. So we're going to save our E. Look for 1500. Boom. And that's going to help you with dragons. It's going to help you with objectives. Combo it with your true damage on your E. And you're pretty much almost never going to miss smite again. So here I think they're all in this area, which is actually good for us because now we're going to have a nice angle to go on them. Flash on, combo. Go on Corki because, well... And this is the speed we talked about. And this is what I'm talking about. You can actually use your ulti now to engage more. Damn. Okay, maybe the Shaco being there might have been a problem. But you can use it to actually get that engage off. It's a really nice combo with your engage ability. Obviously, I didn't have to do it as crazy as that. And here for your items, you want to see the enemy team. Probably don't need to upgrade, but I'll just upgrade anyways. You just want to get into Sterix next. So if you go into Sterix after this, you're going to have a really good time. The enemy team is heavy AD, then DD is really good too. But overall, you're going to have a Sterix because you pretty much have to have it to team fight. And from here, like the game gets really straightforward. You just keep stacking objectives. If you can kill the jungler, I mean, you're never going to miss a smite. Technically, in my opinion. Enemy team is always going to look random spots. You're really fast. You're really high mobility. You always want to pick people off the way I've been doing it, right? Isolate targets in side lane, in their jungle, wherever I see a number who's sort of like away because I use the W, like the tracking sonar vision. I try to jump on that, right? You're just preying on these targets. You are a jaguar. They are gazelles. You must take advantage of that. Here, I'm just going to do the red, and then I'm going to go on the dragon. And the biggest mistake you're going to make in these phases of the part of the game is you're going to overly go out of your vision, right? So the biggest mistake is going for aggressive engages without vision ahead of you, right? So if I engage like up here and there's like towers around here, like it's really bad, right? E-smite, easy combo, easy execution. Make sure you always have that ready to go. And yeah, like overly aggressive 3v3 mids is going to lose you the game, in my opinion. If you're not confident in your 3v3 mids, enemy team has good disengage, just don't go mid during the mid-game phase where you're looking for picks, you're looking to, like, you know, steal the enemy jungle. Instead, go for the side lane angles where you simply just walk into the jungle, go look for the Volibear by himself, right? Don't let side laners split push when you're strong. That's probably your best strength on Rek'sai, is your mid-game control. If you're able to kind of move around with your support, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if your support's just like, hey, I'll join you, it can just be really good. That was a very slow E for me. Interesting. Here, my smite is going to do a decent amount of damage, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Going on Janna, going on whatever we can. Ulti early because we don't really want to have too much damage there, and we just go back in here. Now we can kind of play around our tunnel again. I'm surprised I was still tanking there, unfortunate. But you can see I was unburrowing, reburrowing, ulting in early. Oh, Stridebreaker slowing. You're causing mayhem and chaos, and you can reburrow, regen. It's a lot of in and out plays. With Sterix, you're going to be able to tank a bit more damage, but what you saw is how you're going to get away with engaging in those situations. You want to initially go on them, do a chunk, get your E off if you can. Ulti when you feel like they're about to CC you. Usually, when you're just standing still hitting them, you're going to get like RE charmed, or you're going to get like CC'd, and if you get chain CC'd, it can be really bad. So a lot of times they'll probably flash after that too when you start to get them a bit low towards below half. You ulti beforehand, you ulti before CC hits you. You always want to buffer that. It's going to be really good for you. And then you'll have your W right back up, so you can tunnel out right after ulting. So that's a good thing about Emaxing. That's a good thing about having a lot of ability haste, because you're going to have that window to, you know, play around that stuff. So here we're going to look for... We're just going to go down mid, and I mean, our ultimate, we're so fast, actually. It's insane. Air Drake, really nice to have here. With Sterix, it's when you're going to feel really tanky. You don't have to like be scared in team fights, but because we went Ghostblade for better early mid game control, we don't have the Sterix as fast as, you know, for example, if I went Stridebreaker, my other build. Sometimes I go Stridebreaker too, just no Ghostblade. Why? Because the enemy team is really beefy, plus my team doesn't really look like we have much early game control. And that's perfectly okay. That's something you're going to notice. And here, engaging, you know, it's really not that bad to just go in with your flash. But also my team, you know, if they want to go in, that's fine. And I can just follow up afterwards. I don't have to go in. I can just get that combo off, re-engage again, get that E off, and beautifully done. So my last item here would have been probably DD. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you get into the late game, sometimes sell Ghostblade and go Spear Visage for MR in this situation. But I hope you guys like Rek'sai. I think she's quite strong. I think she's a bit tricky to play, but I hope you guys like that video. I'll be making more Rek'sai videos in the future. Good luck on the game, good luck on the climb, and I'll see you guys in the next one.